Look at a map of where people actually live today. Billions of humans cluster together in incredibly dense, hyper-concentrated zones, leaving vast stretches of the planet almost completely empty. Why do we huddle tightly in these specific spots, ignoring millions of square miles everywhere else? Human density maps are actually geological maps. Where we build our cities, how we fight our wars, and what we grow to eat were decided eons ago by Earth's major landforms. To understand this, we have to look back millions of years. Our planet is an active, violent engine. Tectonic plates, massive slabs of Earth's crust, have spent eons crashing together and tearing apart a single supercontinent to create the geography we see today. Human history is a map of the aftermath. Every major civilization traces back to exactly where the three main architectural structures of our world, plains, mountains, and plateaus, collide. Let's start where most of us live, the plains. These are massive, flat stretches of land sitting largely at lower elevations, usually less than 200 meters above sea level. Plains are built through deposition. High above, rivers cut through solid rock, carrying away millions of tons of sediment, slowly depositing it as the water flattens out. Over millennia, this endless cycle builds up deep layers of incredibly rich topsoil. You get perfect, flat agricultural land sitting right next to a constant water source. It is exactly here that the first great empires appeared. Look at the ruins of the Indus Valley or ancient Mesopotamia. Their builders didn't have to fight the terrain. The flat earth allowed them to lay out grid-like streets and massive brick structures with ease. We still follow this exact geologic blueprint today. From above, you can clearly see the divide, a narrow strip of fertile green river valley cutting right through a hostile desert. We push urban expansion into these green zones because they offer zero physical resistance. Plains remove the physical friction of survival. When flat, fertile land provides enough food to sustain massive populations effortlessly, those people are free to invent, organize, and expand. But those life-giving rivers don't materialize out of nowhere. To find their source, you have to trace the water up to the Earth's natural water towers, the mountains. Mountains are the physical scars of tectonic movement. When crustal plates slam together head-on, immense pressure forces the land to buckle upward, forming massive peaks. Geologists call these fold mountains. But when plates pull apart, the Earth cracks. Giant chunks of rock are violently thrust vertically along fault lines, creating block mountains. Once thrust high into the atmosphere, these towering rock walls act as meteorological traps. They catch passing weather systems, forcing them to dump massive amounts of snow and ice, which then slowly melts to feed the rivers below. These peaks also served as the primary defensive walls of the ancient world. The Himalayas, for example, formed a towering natural fortress that shielded India from northern invaders for centuries. Mountains serve a dual purpose. They hoard the fresh water required to birth the plains, and they provide the defensive walls necessary to protect them. The final piece of this geographic engine is the plateau. These are often called tablelands because they drop off steeply on their outer edges, but maintain a broad, flat top. Plateaus are born from intense geological pressure. Some are pushed up by tectonic forces, while others are the result of ancient, massive lava flows that spilled over the Earth and eventually cooled into vast, elevated rocky expanses. This violent volcanic history creates incredibly unique environments. The dark rock breaks down over time to form highly productive soils. The black soil of India's Deccan Plateau, for instance, is perfectly calibrated to sustain massive cash crops like cotton. Beneath the surface, plateaus hold the raw materials of industry. The same geological pressure that uplifted these regions trapped deep earth deposits of coal, iron, and gold within reach of human excavation. If plains feed a civilization and mountains protect it, plateaus provide the mineral wealth required for a society to advance into an empire.
oceans trap the water. The rushing rivers carve the rock. The sediment is deposited to build the plains, and the elevated plateaus hold deep earth resources safely above the floodlines. Early humans didn't conquer nature. They survived and expanded simply by optimizing themselves within the strict constraints of this exact geological loop. And that engine hasn't stopped. The tectonic plates beneath our feet are still grinding, sliding, and colliding right now. The Himalayas, for instance, aren't finished growing. The collision between the Indian and Eurasian plates forces those jagged peaks higher into the sky every year. As long as the Earth's crust continues to shift, our geography is going to change, and that means the future history of human civilization is still actively being written.